Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Devin, and today we're going to be talking about dysphoria that we feel around dieting. The first thing we're going to be talking about, why it feels weird to eat differently than other people. How can that weird feeling manifest in the decisions that you make? How can we change that, course correct a little bit in terms of our mindset and actionable steps that you can take to, go out with your homies, go out with your partner, go out with the family, make decisions around your food intake, because the concept of dieting is inherently tied for most of us to being female or, just to femininity as a whole. Before I get into that, if you are new here, new and not subscribed, please feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It actually genuinely does help me out. If you are interested in working together, I'm gonna drop my email over here, but my website link is also gonna be down below. It's devinspears.com. You can email me or fill out my coaching application down below for one-on-one training. We can also work together on a custom meal and training plan. The first bone that I have to pick with this whole concept of eating healthy being a diet is just because you're eating healthier food, that doesn't mean that you're on a diet. The word diet implies that it's gonna end at some point, right? I remember when I first started to eat healthier, my coworkers would have like pizza, Popeyes, or all that good stuff. And especially when I worked in an office setting, when I'd be like, you know what, I'm good, like I don't really want that. And they'd be like, well, are you on a diet? And I'm just like, nah, bro, like I just don't really eat that kind of food. And it's almost like they're trying to bully you into, having that food to make themselves feel better. You might just give in because you're like, you know what, I don't want to be the odd person out. I don't want to put myself in an uncomfortable position. But at the end of the day, I almost looked at it like, who are you to decide what I'm going to put in my body? I have a very great sense of autonomy and I simply don't care. Like, you need to not worry about what I'm consuming, because you have to think about it. A lot of us just give in and we're like, oh, fine, I'll have the donut, come on. But would you do that with anything else in your life? You have to hold yourself and the others around you accountable within that regard as well, right? So that's the first thing. Sort of dissociate and remove that concept of eating healthier from diet culture, right? Because you're not dieting, you're just making decisions that will make you feel better as a whole. It's not only about, oh, well, I want to see the number on the scale go down. I also want to not have high cholesterol. I also want to not be pre-diabetic. I also want to make sure that I live a long and healthy life. And if anything, sometimes after you have greasy food or food that's really, not prepared in the cleanest manner, you literally sometimes feel like shit afterwards. And I know we all sometimes have experienced that itis, that sleepiness afterwards, right? So it's not just about losing weight. It's not about, maintaining your figure. It's sometimes literally just about making decisions that make you feel better internally. It's not necessarily tied to your physical appearance. And another thing that could be tied to that dysphoria, and probably is tied to that dysphoria, is eating healthier is often, or especially was, a couple of years ago, associated with being feminine. I'm trying to watch my figure, stuff like that. You have to maintain your physique. That's something that was, especially in the early 2000s and the 90s and the 80s, all that kind of stuff. Diet pills, flat tummy tea.
New for summer, it's LA Express. Don't count, don't think, just lose. LA Weight Loss has made losing weight easier than ever, so you can lose up to 20 pounds in just 4 weeks. They made easy even easier.
All of this sort of, the zeitgeist of diet culture definitely is not too tied to manhood. Men are supposed to be big, depending on, your cultural stance. You're supposed to take up space. And why are you dieting? Why do you want to be smaller? Do you want to be more, soft? Something that pisses me off, I'm not dieting. I'm genuinely bulking right now. Not too long ago, I went out to dinner with my girlfriend and her family. I ordered from the Skinnylicious menu and it just felt super weird to me. They're asking me for my order and I have to go, well, I like the Skinnylicious shrimp pasta. Why is this Skinnylicious? I'm not trying to be skinny. That wasn't, what I was going for at all. That's not my intention in ordering this dish. Skinny girl syrups that don't have any sugar in it. It's all just very associated with, femininity, when in reality, you're just making a healthier decision. It shouldn't have anything to do with the gender. Add that to the list, unnecessarily gendered item. And I do understand how, it could be easier and offer you less resistance in your day-to-day life, and even within your own mindset, to just be like, you know what, I may not be the healthiest person in the world, but at least I don't feel dysphoria right now. The way that this can manifest around other people is, like I mentioned, just caping and being like, you know what, bro, just come on, we'll just have the pizza, I don't care, just leave me alone, don't make me feel like the odd man out. Even when you're by yourself, you have that fear of, okay, well, maybe if I lose weight, my hips are gonna be more prominent. Maybe if I lose weight, I'm gonna feel more dysphoric, I'm gonna feel smaller, I'm gonna feel like I'm taking up less space. When I say dysphoria around dieting, I do not mean dieting for the purpose of losing weight. Just make smarter decisions. Do you have to eat a salad, a Caesar salad with, the little bit of croutons and stuff like that? No, you can literally eat a regular meal, but just make sure you're not having all these, exorbitant, not super healthy, ingredients. If you want to have a pasta dish, maybe go for tomato sauce instead of a heavy cream-based sauce, or maybe go for shrimp instead of ground beef. There are substitutions you can make that are not inherently tied to diet culture, but that are going to be healthier for you as a whole, right? And this is going to sound super shameless, but this this is literally part of why I created my cookbook, Healthy Doesn't Suck. Those are not little baby portions of food. Those are not little girl I'm dieting food options. Like, they're literally regular sized, sometimes bigger than regular sized food options. I did and I do struggle with, eating smaller plates of food and stuff like that. Because I have a big appetite. Do not put yourself in this box of thinking that you have to stay a certain way in order to maintain your masculinity. How we can remove that shame and just simply live healthier as a whole, even if that's not tied to, a specific appearance for you, even if that's not tied to a specific, number on the scale, which it shouldn't be. The first thing I alluded to heavily here is to just remove the concept of eating healthier from dieting. I think especially in today's day and age, there's just so many variations of, masculinity and femininity. I think at this point, weight should not be associated with being male or female or anything in between. Do not have weak boundaries. Like, set your boundaries clear and concise. If you're going out with a group of people and you say, I don't want to drink tonight, or you know what, we're gonna go out to eat, I want to get wings instead of that pizza, you have to be clear with what you're expecting from them. You don't want to be peer pressured, don't want to be made to feel like shit, and you don't want to be made to feel like the odd man out. And lastly, a client of mine actually bought this up, and I thought it was a very smart decision for them to make. They said that they actually ordered ahead so that whenever they got to the restaurant, they could just pick the food up without having to be like, I'm ordering from the Skinnylicious menu, which I think is a very smart solution, right? Those are my tips, and those are ways that I implement, not feeling like shit around my food choices, which are actually healthy. Like, sometimes genuinely it does feel weird to eat healthy around other people. If you guys have any specific methods that you apply or specific thought process that helped you change your mind on how eating healthier doesn't take away from your masculinity, definitely drop that in the comment section down below. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. That's going to be linked down below in the description as well. And like I always say, Devin loves you, Devin's a Don, and Devin is out of here, boy.